What is going on, tribe, and welcome back to another video with me, your bald-headed boy scribe. CG seems to be intent on absolutely smashing our tiny little brains right now. We've just had Stranger come to the game, Maul is imminent, and we've had the new Conquest unit, and it is a long-term fan favorite. Grandmaster of the Old Republic Satil Shan's kit has dropped, and I want to talk to you today about her kit, the Zeta and Omicron priority order, the teams that you're going to work with, and how her kit works in total. I'm very excited for this one, and I'm hopeful that this means more Old Republic content in the near future. Let's break this down, baby. So, Satil Shan has come to the game, and she looks fabulous. She is going to be our next Conquest unit. We've got a double-bladed blue lightsaber over here. She just looks like a badass. If you don't know who Satil Shan is basically the descendant of the lineage of both Satele Shan and Jedi Knight Revan, or Darth Revan, whichever way you want to put it. It's really going to be Jedi Knight Revan. Let's be real. Let's be real over here. She will be our next Conquest unit. She has 4 Zetas and 3 Omicrons. Not only did she come to the game, but we had a brief update on some of the other supporting Old Republic characters. Mission Vow, for example, her Zeta has now been changed. It is now an Omicron, and if you had the Zeta, you've got this for free. And the reason this has happened is because she will form part of the 5v5 team for the Old Republic, freeing up Juhani to go elsewhere, most likely to teams like the new Stranger comp. So I'll briefly go over this new Omicron over here. At the start of battle, this only applies if the leader is an Old Republic Jedi. Basically, Mission Vow gains the Jedi faction tag, and all allies gain 100 speed for 1 turn. Already pretty good, right? And they are immune to cooldown increase, which is great, so they can still reduce their own cooldowns, but you cannot then decrease their cooldowns against them, which persists through defeat. Whenever Mission uses her basic ability, all allies gain riposte for 2 turns. Counterattacks are great, and it really ties in to Satil's kit. If Zalbar is not an ally at the start of battle, Mission's abilities all consider the leader to be Zalbar, which is really, really useful. What this means is, as long as this Omicron is active, Satil is basically going to be gaining 50% bonus offense, thanks to Mission. She is also going to assist Satil whenever she uses an ability, only once per turn, right? Also, whenever Satil takes damage from an attack, Mission is going to stack offense, and Satil will basically be permanently taunting, which is great. And when Mission deals damage to an enemy, Satil is going to recover 10% health. Now that's not as useful, but it's still quite useful. It's not the only benefit though. I believe over here, yes, on her first special, when Mission uses the first special, Mission and Zalbar are going to gain protection up 50% for 2 turns. Protection up 50% for 2 turns on a character like Satil Shan, who is a heavy tank, is going to be massive. Massive levels of survivability. Really, really solid. I don't think anything else gives anything benefit-wise in terms of Zalbar. However, we've also had a slight update to Satele Shan's kit. On her Force Bond, Satil Shan has been included in the if she's in the leader slot now. So basically, as long as Basti and Satil are in the same team, and you know, Satil is in the leadership, Bastila and the allied leader are going to get 70% accuracy, potency, and tenacity. The allied leader also recovers protection from legendary battle meditation. We don't care about the Darth Revan clause, that doesn't matter so much. But this just gives her additional levels of survivability, which is really, really nice. So that recovery based on the battle meditation is the start of their turn going to recover 2% protection for each buff she and all allies have. She has, and all allies gains 3% turn meter, double for Jedi. So having, say you've got like, you know, 400,000 protection, which wouldn't be too far of a stretch for this Satele Shan, that does mean she's going to be recovering 2% of that for each buff, which is significant, you know? I mean, obviously 1% of 400,000 is what, 4,000? But if you've got like 10 buffs, it would be kind of cool. It would be kind of cool. Just a little bit of additional survivability for the team. It's really, really good. Okay, so let's talk about Satil Shan's kit. Let's talk about her abilities, how we should mod her, what team she's going to be in, Zeta and Omicron priority orders. Alright, so we'll start off with the basic. Double strike over here. Deal physical damage to the target enemy twice. If Satil is taunting, deal 20% more damage and inflict buff immunity for 1 turn. Already pretty good. It's also got quite a good damage multiplier. I've checked this in the stats. It's about a 2 times multiplier, although she is a tank, so she doesn't have great damage stats in general. If the target enemy is marked, deal an additional 20% damage and inflict heal immunity for 1 turn. Really, really good. Jedi Knight Revan is obviously going to be applying marked, so a double attack, heal immunity. It's going to apply buff immunity, which is great, additional damage, and then she's going to get protection up, stacking 10% for the rest of the battle. Don't forget, she'll get called to assist quite frequently, stacking lots and lots of protection up, lots of additional damage, heal immunity, buff immunity, really, really solid. Her first special is Force Stun, ladies and gentlemen, and this one is indeed a Zeta. Every ability from here has a Zeta, okay? So, deal physical damage to the target enemy and stun them for 2 turns. This is kind of similar to Satele Shan's second special, right? The stun, the dispel, well, no dispel on this. Satil taunts for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled. That's great. If Jedi Knight Revan and Satele Shan are allies, this stun can't be evaded or resisted. Really good. If the target enemy is already stunned, remove 100% of their turn meter, which can't be resisted. Now, I believe that direct focus from Jedi Knight Revan can also cause stuns. Satele's second special can also cause stuns, so there is instances of that happening. This stun is also a 2-turn stun, and under Satil Shan's kit, you'll get a lot of cooldown reduction going on, and you know that means you're going to have more and more occasions to control their turn meter. If the target enemy is marked, all Old Republic Jedi allies gain 100% defense penetration and offense, stacking for 2 turns. If Satil has defense up and tenacity up, she dispels them and gains perfect defense for 2 turns, which can't be copied or dispelled. So ramping up defense penetration, ramping up offense, like I said, low cooldown of 3, lots of cooldown manipulation this turn. You will be able to cycle this ability quite frequently. That defense up and tenacity up you can actually get from her second special. So you're going to turn that into perfect defense, which is going to massively decrease incoming damage for you. Really solid. If there are no Galactic Legend allies, all Jedi allies gain a stack of Jedi Lessons for 3 turns, maximum of 3 stacks, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Now, Jedi Lessons is what we get from JML. It gives you 20% additional mastery per stack. Whilst this is okay, it's not phenomenal, and that's the only part that you get from the actual Zeta itself. So it's not a high priority Zeta. This all Old Republic allies gaining Fearless for 2 turns, that's from GL Layer, that gives us additional speed and stats and stuff, is good, but it's not actually part of the Zeta. That part is much further back over here, which is quite nice. You know, getting Fearless is actually pretty good. Into the fray, this has got both a Zeta and an Omicron over here, and all of them are quite good. So Zeta then, dispel all buffs on all enemies. Huge, right? Old Republic Jedi allies recover protection equal to 50% of Satil's max protection. So Satil Shan's max protection, do you want to have a look at that? At Relic Tier 9, her base max protection is 95,000. That's really high. If we were to check someone else out who's got really good max protection, someone like Quigold over here, him at Relic 9, he's got 107,000, and you can boost his max protection to like 240,000 with modding. Satil Shan's going to have a lot of max protection. A lot. We know Quigold is tanky. How about Vayne? What's Vayne rocking at Relic 9? Just so we can get an idea, just some comparisons over here. Yeah, so she's got as much max protection at Relic 9 as Vayne does, and Vayne is one of the tankiest units around. So obviously it's not just because of his kit, it's because of the GLs, because of the stacking defense and stuff like that, right? But to give an idea, if you've got about 95,000 protection, and I do recommend this girl goes to Relic 9, because of the big boost you'll get in protection over there, with modding, you'll easily bump this over 200,000, and thanks to her leadership, she's going to double that. She's going to gain 100% extra max protection, and that turns into lots of damage. So anyway, dispel all buffs on all enemies. Old Republic Jedi allies recover protection equal to 50% of her max protection. That is really, really nice, okay? So you do that, 50% of her max protection. If she's got 200,000 base with mods, that gets 100% from her leadership, 400,000. You're healing up 200,000 protection. It's not bad at all. But then there's the Grand Arena Omicron aspect of it. Enemies that are not dazed at the end of this turn lose 10% max health stacking, and Satil gains that much max protection. Quite nice. Quite nice. So to reiterate, dispel all buffs on all enemies, deal physical damage to the target enemy, then deal true damage equal to 20% of her max protection. Like I said, if you got 200,000, gain 100,000 additional protection from her leadership, or gain additional 100% max protection. So you might be at like 400,000 protection, deal 20%. You're doing an AoE 80,000 max protection damage, basically. That's rather good. Then she's going to daze everybody, and if they resist that daze in Grand Arena, they're going to lose 10% max health, and she's going to stack additional max protection throughout. That is good. However, I will say that probably out of her Omicrons, this is most likely the least important, right? Most likely the least important. This is just like a massive damage, AoE, dispel, health, well, protection recovery ability. It's a massive ability. Cooldown of 4, but don't forget, we are going to be reducing cooldowns a lot. So her leadership then. Old Republic allies have 50% protection and offense, doubled for Old Republic Jedi allies. So she's gaining 100% offense and 100% protection. I mean, her offense isn't great. Jedi Revan will be the real damage dealer here, maybe even with Mission if you're in TW and you've upped her relic levels. He's going to be the real damage dealer. She's just going to be an absolute chunk of a unit. Whenever a marked enemy damages an Old Republic ally, that ally recovers protection equal to the damage received at the end of their turn. So if they're marked and they hit you, you just recover protection equal to the damage you receive. Whilst she is taunting, whenever an Old Republic Jedi ally is Old Republic ally is damaged, that ally gains high morale for 3 turns. Now I checked this out. High morale actually becomes from one of the assault battles, and it gives you 25% additional stats. So that's not bad, right? So basically, if somebody does an AoE, the whole team is going to gain 25% extra stats on everything for 3 turns. That's wild. Whenever Old Republic allies attack out a turn, they reduce their cooldowns by 1. If the target enemy is marked, you reduce their cooldowns by 2 instead. Now, I believe that is the Zeta. That is the Zeta on her leadership, yeah, and that's a really good Zeta. When you think about her kit, the recovery, the survivability, the damage output, lots of cooldown reduction is going to be absolutely pivotal, all right? And marked is there from Jedi Revan, and that is a mass assist. Satele Shan, she's got a buff pass with an assist. Jolie, he's got a heal with an assist. Mission in TW is going to be assisting whenever Satil Shan does an ability. Lots of assists, lots of cooldown reduction, and marked coming from Jedi Revan means you double it up, which means you are going to be cycling through these cooldowns very, very quickly. So it's a really, really good Zeta. While Satil is taunting, whenever an Old Republic ally is damaged, that ally gains high morale. Oh, we've gone over that, sorry. Whenever an enemy resists a debuff from an Old Republic ally, just hit them with tenacity down for 2 turns. No more resisting debuffs for you. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with a debuff from Old Republic allies, just put speed down on them as well. So that's 25% less speed. Whilst an Old Republic ally has Fearless, which you can get from Zetas and Omicrons and stuff, they are immune to doubt. So this really hampers Sith teams, basically, and I guess Afra. Old Republic allies with legendary battle meditation, that comes from whenever Basti takes a turn, she passes it to everybody. They are immune to daze. Whenever an Old Republic ally ends their turn and no other allies have legendary battle meditation, Satele Shan takes a bonus turn, and then she passes it to everybody. So lots of cooldown reduction, bonus turns for Satele Shan, and what else am I thinking over here? Yeah, sorry, cooldown reductions and bonus turns for Satele Shan, alongside massive boosts to health and protection and offense. Huge. Well, not health, just protection and offense. So this is the Omicron, and this is the best one, I feel. Whenever an Old Republic Jedi ally attacks out a turn, they deal bonus true damage based on Satil's max protection. Enormous amounts of damage, because she's going to have like 400k. We should probably check to see how much damage that is, because we don't know if that's going to be 20% like Into the Fray or something else. Okay, so just checking through the actual mechanics here. This is saying, so if we follow this along, leader ability, Satil, Omi, out of a turn attack, true damage handler. It basically says if it's not your turn and you do an attack, it looks at her protection, it deals 1 physical damage with an additional 20% on top for each of her protection value. So it's dealing 20% of her max protection as true damage when you attack out of turn. 80,000? 80,000 if you've got a Relic 9 Bastion. This is without, Satil, sorry. This is without having, this is without having Datacrons on top. If you've got one of the current Datacron sets, which has got like, imagine you've got a 15% health and protection level 3, you've got 100+% protection boosts, and you've got an Attackacron when you're attacking out of turn. That team will destroy. Obviously, that Datacron might well be gone by the time she's in the game, but I'm just giving you a for instance here. That is absolutely wild. Okay, if all allies are Old Republic, all allies are immune to stun, and they take reduced damage from percentile health effects. At the start of battle, they gain fearless and instant defeat immunity. This is such a really powerful Omicron. Really powerful. You're going to want to pump this girl's protection as high as possible. Instant defeat immunity, you're going to be taking out GLs. Immune to stun, you know, like, that's also really good. You see how annoying that is when you're going up against a Star Killer team. Immune to, or reduced damage from percentile health effects. You might be able to take out Lord Vader. You might be able to take out units like Jedi Master Kenobi. This is going to be wild. It's going to be so good. So good. Legendary Defiance, Zeta and Omicron. While Satil is taunting, she gains protection up, stacking 20% for 2 turns whenever she is damaged. More survivability. All enemies are immune to bonus turn meter gain when she has taunt, and they cannot assist while they are targeting Old Republic allies. So if she has got taunt up, you cannot assist, like against Ezra Bridger Exile. It's a very frustrating mechanic. She's going to be so good. Her health also can't drop below 100%, and she can't be instantly defeated. So this is while she has protection. Kind of like Gungans. When the shield generator's up, you can't attack under their protection. She just can't be, she can't be hit below health, but she can't be hit to her health while she has protection. She also can't be instantly defeated while she has protection. She's going to be so frustrating. Whenever a marked enemy starts their turn, Satil will taunt. Whenever an ally reaches 75% health, she'll also taunt, which is going to keep all of this protection up going. It's going to keep all of the immunity to bonus turn meter going. It's going to, you know, give her that instant defeat immunity because she's probably going to have protection. All right, okay. When Satil reaches 25% health for the first time, she recovers 100% health and protection. That's her Zeta, I believe. Yeah, so if you've taken off all of her protection somehow, you've gotten down to her health, and you've taken down all her health to 25%, she's just going to fully heal, all health, all protection. Also, if Xaereth Revan is in the team, this isn't even part of the Zeta, he also gets that. And that means he gets to save his savior mechanic, which is triggers on 1%. So you could basically take this girl all the way down, right? All the way down to 25%. She's going to recover 100% health and protection. All the way down to 1%, might trigger Savior and go all the way back up again. She's going to be a pain to kill. And then, whilst in Grand Arena, whenever an Old Republic ally with less than 20% health is damaged, they equalize health with the strongest enemy. This kind of helps characters like Xaereth Revan not inadvertently trigger Savior. Okay, Xaereth Revan, when he's not in the leadership, doesn't trigger it on himself. Right? He just dies, right? So if he's at 20% or less health and he takes a little bit of damage, then he's just going to go whoop, equalize with the highest protection enemy. That's just going to keep the team ticking forever. It's going to be such an annoying team to take down. If all allies are Old Republic, they gain immunity from Revive immunity, which persists through defeat. I love this. I love this. We've got instant kills. We've got immunity to instant kills, we've got revive prevention, and now we've got anti-revive prevention. So that means that if Nihilus comes into the match and he annihilates somebody, you can revive that character with Jolie. Disintegration, you can revive with Jolie. Defeated by Great Mothers, you can revive with Jolie. Really good. Really flipping good. Very, very excited for this. Very, very excited for this. This is very, very powerful. Okay, so we've gone over the abilities. Let's talk about how you want to mod her, what teams, and what your Zeta and Omicron priorities. I've got a little cheat sheet for you, but first and foremost, I think when it comes to modding, you're going to want to get her as fast as possible because speed is always king, and then you want to go maximum protection. Protection primaries probably all over the place. Get that thing as high as possible. I do recommend Relic 9. If we check out her base speed, it's probably not that high, I imagine, because she is a tank. Her base speed is 161. She's not particularly fast. However, if you give her full health sets with protection primaries or full defense sets with protection primaries or a speed set defense or a speed set health with protection primaries, you're going to be in a good place. You could throw a bit of potency on her, but she does apply tenacity down when enemies resist debuffs, and she has a method of constantly reducing the enemy's tenacity, so I don't think that's necessarily beneficial. You could pump her offense, but I think it's better off to rely on maximum protection and think about the true damage that you're going to be getting either from her second special or through the leadership Omicron. That's how I would go. Maximum amounts of protection and as fast as possible. That way you will get an absolute winner. So I put together this tiny little cheat sheet overview. This is available in my Discord. Link to that is in the description down below. So Satil Shan, 5v5 comps over here. It's obviously going to be Satil Shan leadership. You want Jedi Revan, you want Basti, you want Jolee, and you want Juhani. Full Old Republic, full Jedi is what we're looking for here. When it comes to 3v3, it really is about Jedi Knight Revan and Satele Shan. You really need that duo so that you've got yourselves the source of marked, you've got yourselves the additional calls to assist, you've got the buffs, you've got the legendary battle meditation, all that good business is going to compound into the best 3v3 comp. For territory wars, we're just dropping out Juhani and we're throwing in Mission, because of her new Omicron that turns her into a Jedi and gives Zalbar's benefits over here to Satil Shan, giving you a massive bonus in performance, essentially. Really looking forward to testing this one out, but I think the 5v5 team is going to be the best. When it comes to Zeta and Omicron priority, I think we need to focus down first of all on the leaderships over here. Get the leadership Zeta, get the leadership Omi, then go for the unique, get that unique Zeta and Omi, then go for the second special Zeta and Omi, and then finish off with the first special. This first special, whilst still good, I don't believe that it really brings as much value as the other Zetas and Omicrons. This is the one that basically passes us Jedi Lessons. That Jedi Lessons gives us 20% additional mastery per stack, but I feel like all of the other Zetas and Omicrons are just that much more valuable than this one. Alright, I still recommend getting every single Zeta and every single Omicron. It's all very good, but that's your priority. You could probably skip that one if you really wanted to. Finally, modding, you go for max protection and speed. Maybe you want to have some defense in there, get her as survivable as possible, but really focus on maxing out that protection so you can benefit from the true damage she deals on her second special, as well as the true damage her Old Republic allies will be dealing thanks to her Omicron. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it and about. Cover it for Satil Shan. She looks phenomenal. I'm super excited to try her out when she comes out in 3 months' time. Let me know your thoughts on her kit in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.